All right, guys, welcome back. We are just about to start map 2 of our ESEA invite lower bracket matchup here between the $5 Club and Street Hoops Esports. And $5 Club came out swinging on the first map, which was Snakewater. They took that one easy peasy, 5-1 game for them. Looking very solid here so far. But I am Gecks. I'm still here, and we still got Marxist here, I believe. At least, how you hanging in, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still alive, confirmed.
Good.
Waiting for Badlands. We have a lot of really classic Badlands TF2 in the history of the ESEA playoffs and /LAN. So I'm excited for this. These always end up being pretty good because, in general, if you've managed to make it to invite and also into the top 4 in invite, chances are you're rather familiar with how to play Badlands.
Yeah, it's one of those classic maps, so you better know how to play it at this point if you're in the top 4 of invite, which I'm sure these boys do. They've been around the block a few times, so I think they'll be just fine on this one. But I mean, Marxist, we saw $5 Club playing some excellent TF2 on the first game, and not really the best TF2 out of Street Hoops. I mean, do you think that they can maybe get themselves back into this one, or is it going to be another steamroll out of the $5 Club guys?
Well, we'll see, because I don't know what was going on with Tony B. Are our aliases wrong here? Because 20B played a lot more like $5 Club did, and they didn't do it as well as $5 Club typically does.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe they just tried to counter them. Maybe it was like a thought that, they're going to play super aggressive, so maybe we should too. And then $5 Club didn't really play so aggressive. They kind of just played your standard. An aggressive style still, yes, but more typical for an aggressive team.
Yeah, I will say, man, it was very odd seeing how Street Hoops was playing. Like you said, I don't know, it's just not what you're used to out of them. They're a very solid team. Of course, any of these top 4 teams are going to be really good. But I mean, going into this, I kind of thought Street Hoops had an edge here. I thought they were going to take it. But I mean, so far, $5 Club has just been putting up a hell of a fight, man. So we're on to Badlands, and 20B's season hinges on this map right now. If they lose, they go home. Like I said before, and I'll reiterate again that the winner of this game plays the loser of the Ascent and Froyotech match, which will be happening at some point within the coming week, I believe. So that's kind of what we're looking at for our picture of the playoffs here. It is a double elimination tournament, so these guys have had an opportunity after they lost their first game to try and stay alive in the playoffs, and right now it's 20B with their backs against the wall. But no time like having your back against the wall to start playing some sick TF2. So maybe we'll see some magic out of them here on Badlands.
Yeah. Also, I should point out, due to it being online playoffs, they're already home. So,
oh yeah,
yeah. So loser has a good solid think about their life. A winner gets to play loser of Ascent and Froyo.
yeah, which is also a whole different beast that they have to worry about. Whoever comes out on top of this one, that's certainly not impossible, though. We saw at least a map got taken off of them by Street Hoops. They ended up edging a map out of Froyotech, so they're definitely a beatable team. We saw Ascent do that, so we're in for some good playoff TF2 here. Nothing like it. So we're gonna get started with this one here shortly. It looks like everybody is readied up. They're just picking the sides, and we're gonna get into our matchup here on Badlands. Marxist, I may have asked you this before, but do you have a pick as to who's gonna win this match? Maybe?
I'm gonna have to go with Woodpig on momentum, and Squid was saying that this is his best map in the chat as a form of trash talk. I would happen to maybe agree. I have seen him do good stuff here, and he just came off of a 50-kill game, so...
Yeah, he's playing lights out tonight, so he's going to be a force to be reckoned with on Badlands here. So we'll take you into our first mid. This is map 2 in our best of 3 in the lower bracket matchup. Milo's going to get on to Deadbolt right away to start things off. Squid actually cleaned up on that damage. Kozen's eating a lot of loose cannon shots, and Milo's lurking around, but gets decimated by the players swarming him, and that's 3 down. Make that 4 down as Kozin gets crunched as well on the low ground. Sizer trying to come back to do something, but it's just not going to happen. Him and Paragon were still in, and 20B gets wiped on the first mid.
Yeah, 20B chose to stay in there. That was, you know, they're a little over-aggressive play. In my little world, as soon as you lose Deadbolt there, you want to take a more passive posture. Oh, Alpha, though, he gets another drop on the Mason. That's 4 on the night for him. Nothing really that he could do about that. It's a bullet through your brain box. And now they're going to contest second. Arctic Joe gonna get Sizer, so that at least helps their case a little bit. They've got really good spawns, and both soldiers are behind going to last, and they're going to get it. So, yeah, you got to watch all your doors when you push out on Badlands. Mangachu and Milo save the round.
This is definitely a map that you can get crossed up on pretty easy, and people can get in for those back caps, and you just saw it right there. So an early 1-0 lead for the $5 club on the second map, man. They are looking great right now. 20B's got to be feeling the heat at this point, but it's time for them to start playing some TF2. They haven't really showed up into the server tonight, but maybe they will start it now. Alpha's going to be the first victim on this mid-sizer. Is going to be able to get Mangachu, so they exchange on those roamer picks, and both of them just on the opposite sides in the mid, but now some aggression coming out of 20B. Milo's going to go down. Squid got blasted there as well, and Arctic Joe able to pick up on a Paragon, but 20B's playing on the low ground right now. They're finally working themselves back up as a flank coming through from Sizer as well against Arctic Joe, and this is awkward position. Oh my goodness, Cherry User used the Uber, but Showstopper gave him an air shot. Not that it really did much for him, but still a nice shot coming out of Showstopper there. And that will be them having to use the Uber, and Kozin's got a full one to push in through this flank side with 20B right now. Mangachu trying to get in behind them. Awkward place for 20B to have to pop that Uber as well. And that is going to be a good force out of Mangachu regardless. And now we may be seeing some contention from the $5 club pushing back out on the second here. And they actually had a flank coming through. 20B did in through the lobby, but they're not able to find too much with it yet. They got 2 frags. Actually, there it is. Sizer able to get it. Showstopper. Oh my goodness. They just cleaned up all over the $5 club side right there. A great flank. 6K from Sizer as well.
Yep, they got in there real quick. Then managed to get into lobby and just work their way all the way around. So now we've got huge Uber advantage for Kozin. We might see this game get tied up. So Mangachu gonna go on to NG, and Squid's gonna play Sniper. Lots of players over on the right side right now for the $5 club, but this Uber should be coming pretty soon. Kozin wearing his wizard hat. They're going to cross over here, and I assume we're just going to see an Uber straight away. Yeah, there we go. So they're going to lead in Sizer on the Uber, and he's going to start shooting sticks off the point, and yeah, just get right on it. Badlands caps real fast, and if you see them start to do that to you, you have to do something about it. And nothing happened, so Sizer wins the round.
Good job, Sizer. He actually had a hell of a round there. He was on like a 6K, I believe it was, or something like that, a 6-kill streak, and he finishes off the round for his team as well. So a nice response coming out of 20B here as we head into our third mid of this game. We're all tied up at 1-1. Milo's already in on a deadbolt, gave him some good rockets, but he was unable to convert on it. And there's the medic frags coming out once again. Kozin gets Arctic Joe, and they are destroying the $5 club on this mid here. They haven't managed to get one frag. Cherry User's caught out by himself, and he will get taken out there. So it is it's going to be Alpha actually chasing after Dingo, but regardless, they do get that mid and second.
Yep, Alpha camping the lower door. I don't think he'll see any action, but he will get arrowed, and that we've got another huge Uber advantage. So as long as nothing unfortunate happens to Kozin, especially on Badlands, you like to think this should be kind of a done deal. If you're the team that has the full Uber, so probably gonna see it going right now.
They are indeed going to take that in on their upper left side once again. They're sending Sizer across. They haven't gotten any frags yet. There were still sticks on the point, but they have been cleared. They lost 2 players, though. 20B did. Cherry User gets a frag of his own onto Alpha, and they're getting destroyed here on last. They got got some good frags in, but Dingo and Arctic Joe never went down, and they were able to hold off that push from 20B. A nice arrow, actually, from Kozin on the late round there. But he's going to meet up with his teammates there, and $5 Club's trying to cap this second point, but I think Arctic Joe may fall here as he's on the Spire, but yeah, there we go, 20B retaining that second point.
Yeah, he made a good solid try at it, but that random arrow kind of crushed him. Oh, guy on the point already, Showstopper, flanks around behind. They might try to go ahead and push this because it's caused a lot of chaos. Alpha on the top right, moving around now, still in here at last, trying to get kills. Not going to make it. Kozin is still alive, but the Ubers are going to even out. I don't know that they can push out here. They might try it. They are moving the medic forward, so I think this constitutes trying.
Yeah, they're gonna give it a shot. I mean, Kozin's just about to be up on his Uber, though. He's just sitting at 98, now 100%. And they're out on the second point with it. Chair user very close on his as well. They're forced to use that Uber off inside of the upper lobby. Both teams down a couple of players. $5 Club in a bit of a rough spot right now. Chair user did just get that Uber. Hasn't used it yet either, but now is going to. But there's nothing around for him or for his teammates to kill. Just kind of a defensive measure there, but unable to do anything with it. So you still have 20B lurking around down towards his bottom right area. Showstopper gets Mangachu in that direction, and they have a flanking Squid, but he'll get taken care of nice and quick by Sizer, and they're trying to pinch them in on that bottom right side, but it's unsuccessful. They're down 3 players, and Kozin's going to have a bit of advantage here.
Yeah, he's just waiting on the health pack. We have a guy in right now in Alpha, so I don't know if that was just an attempt to keep him honest, or maybe no one told Alpha that the push was over. So that we're just gonna chill now. That's actually not very good for them, unless he's trying to come up heavy or something, because they could have used him, because I think there's Uber coming. Yeah, there it goes.
They're going to pop it in from underneath. Showstopper stuffs them right back into the spawn, but there's still stickies out on the point. Deadbolt goes down. Milo's down as well with 20B losing players. They're getting a bit of time onto the point, but Kozin's going to get taken out by Squid. Here comes Showstopper to try and save the day. Sizer's with him as well, and it's just one player up. Arctic Joe, he gets taken out as well, and that will be a round right back over to 20B here. 2 in a row for them, now making it a 2-1 game.
Yep, that Showstopper in there whacking with his soldier stick for everything that he had.
He tried. Luckily, he had the man around to help him out there. So that will give 20B a 2-1 lead now, going into our next mid. And 20B was able to come out on top of the last one. See if they can do it again. Maybe Alpha and Milo having a battle down in choke, and Showstopper is actually going to be able to collect up on a couple onto Milo and Mangachu here. So Deadbolt and got dumpstered on as well by the $5 Club, so he's down for the 20B side, but the frags just coming through for the Street Hoops boys as they collect up on this midpoint, and they're going to be able to come out and grab second as well.
Yeah, Mason makes a good read there and gets out real early, though, so that's good from him, because his team is going to come up just in the nick of time. 20B is going to try to press this, and they're going to get a surprise. And that's the Uber out of Mason. So they gambled and lost, and now they've got to try it and make sure they don't lose too much because of it.
Paragon quite hurt here. They're actually managing to come out on top of the fight. They've already got Squid and Arctic Joe scout paired down, but Mangachu gets a couple back of his own, and here comes Dingo. He gets 2 as well, but Paragon and Deadbolt doing a bit of work as well. It's just Paragon left. Milo is able to take care of him. Could have been a disaster for either team there, but that will be $5 Club back out onto the second point. Kozin's going to have just a hair of Uber advantage here.
Yep, and now we got this fight out here on second. They can't really press, though, and they're going to lose Squid, which is a pretty big blow to them as it stands right now. They're going to well, they were contesting a little bit at first, but they're going to pull back. So we got a minor Uber advantage. I don't think that constitutes an occasion for a forward hold, especially with Scout down. It gets a little risky at that point because they can just try and run through the door on you. So we'll see the standard last hold now with a Squid Sniper.
Squid Sniper indeed. Both teams building up the Uber. Cozen is at 90% right now, so just a couple of seconds he'll be up and ready to go with that. And Mason himself is at 90% here, but they want to try and take this in. They're going to have to see if they can focus him, but he's just going to back himself up into spawn. They'll be able to push right back out here with this Uber, and Mangachu collects up onto Paragon. He gets traded out by Showstopper, though, but 3 players down for Street Hoops right now as they're all the way back out onto second. Alpha's going to try and play sneaky down in trash, see if he can find a cheeky frag onto somebody, but regardless, they're going to be able to get out onto the second point potentially, but Alpha's behind right now. He wants to go for this back cap. He's got to try and battle it out with Squid, and somebody's going to have to block it for him, but Mangachu gets the respawn, and he'll get taken down, so the back cap unsuccessful from Alpha. He tried, but didn't quite get it, so there still is a bit of a battle going out onto the second point right now. 20B's down quite a bit of players, though, so it's just Sizer kind of sacrificing his body for his teammates, and he'll get taken out, so 20B has to back it up now.
Yeah, here's your 10% luck thing, too. Paragon, Alpha, and Showstopper were all in the process of respawning right when that point capped, and they got 5 seconds added to their timers. So they would have had that capped a millisecond slower. There would have been 3 20B players walking out of forward spawn on mid instead of absolutely no one.
They caught a break there, and they have a flanking Uber coming through as well. Cherry User pops it off onto Milo and company, and that'll force it out of Cozen as well, but they have a much better Uber here, so they're going to push right through house with this one. They were looking for it anyway. They've now got an Arctic Joe behind them that they have to take care of as well. He's going to go down to Paragon, but he kind of slowed them up enough. And now 20B has a 2-player advantage, and they're getting ready to move through choke. There are sticks in there. They're going to have to be careful. There's also some loose cannon raining down onto them as well that they have to be careful of, but they are going to get themselves into mid right now. Mangachu is also behind them. He's on the second point cap right now, so he's just going to stand on that one and just cause a ruckus for 20B. He's going to try and get Cozen as well. Got one rocket into him, but Showstopper taking care of that nice and easy, so he slowed that push up nicely.
Yeah, good call from 20B to pull back. That cap was going to take too long as it was. They'd lost players, and also there was a guy behind that they needed to deal with. So that cap was just going to take too long, and the respawn advantage would become sort of overwhelming. And so they pulled out there. That was a good call. They're going to have Uber for last. Mangachu's going to do his sniper thing, which has sort of emerged last season and this season as a an option that did not previously exist.
Well, we'll see if he can do it tonight. He's there. He's just sitting inside of the lobby right now. See maybe if he can grab something. Both teams have the Uber though. Sizer's gonna switch over to NG, try and get a gun up quick before a push happens. I'm not sure if they're aware of the Mangachu sniper yet, but he is out there and lurking. I'm sure they've seen him by now, but he's gonna try his hand at going down towards the lower main. Misses that shot though. Now in behind barrels, not really getting a good look at much of anything. Paragon's gonna be up on sniper as well. They have this battle out here, but some classic stalemate until one of these snipers makes that play, and Sizer's got his gun up to a level 2 right now as well. That's just about to be up. Gonna be up here full in just a second, so that's another obstacle that they're gonna have to deal with pushing into last.
Yeah, one thing I do want to point out though is I like the way Mangachu plays sniper just because it keeps me entertained. Is he'll try to do the right thing where you fully charge your shot and walk out. Oh, actually, there's a push coming now. That's a popped Uber. Oh, a flank through drop down. It had been waiting from Alpha for quite some time, and they're gonna lose Dingo as well. So life's hard right now for the $5 club. And fight's still in lobby. That gun is still at last. So they could make that Uber push out because you got your 7th player there watching the point.
Ooh, it was able to get Milo. At least Squid's gonna go for the point, but gets shut down right away. That sentry gun is locked and loaded, ready to defend the point. So Squid gets melted by that, and now we have 2 players down on the side of the $5 club as they're kind of haphazardly sitting on second here. Dingo's going to go down, though, so Mangachu tries to make a play on Kozen. Got one good rocket into him, but not going to be able to take the cake there. So 20B has some room to push out onto the second point with. They're going to snag up second, and both teams are going to have an Uber.
Yeah, you can see $5 club getting a little risky here, and that's, if they get on tilt, then that's when things go awry. So we should see a suicide or a full-on Uber push. That's something that $5 club does that not a whole lot of other teams here really do. You see that more in Europe, where teams just go and they try to have a good Uber and negotiate the fight that way, as opposed to running the suicide. But it looks, no. Well, Mangachu's just looking at what he can see. Jumps high. Now he goes to see what he can get. Probably not a lot, yeah. Scouts are there to shut him down immediately. The push might come.
They're moving through house right now. There is a sticky trap right around the corner, though. Showstopper's got to be careful of that. He hasn't crossed that line just quite yet, but Alpha's gonna fall, and they actually got Dingo, so certainly there's got to be a push coming out of 20B right now. They're moving in through house. Showstopper taking quite a bit of damage. He's very hurt, and the Uber's gonna get forced out of the $5 club here. Kozen still has, oh no, he is going to pop that off, excuse me, but he got blasted down onto the low ground here. He's got to try and connect up with his teammates. Just about to run out on that Uber, and he has a couple of hurt players here, Showstopper being one of them, and they're down 2 players as well. As they just push in through choke here, Kozen's going to get caught out by Arctic Joe. It's a disaster for 20B out on second, but Alpha trying to salvage something out of this maybe for his team, as he is on second, but that should be a cap coming out for for the $5 club here, and some advantage for Mason.
Yeah, 20B's intentions there were real good. They knew as soon as Dingo died that $5 club, although an aggressive team, did not want to fight anymore, and they were gonna have to use their Uber, and they let them do that. And then Kozen got kind of tossed around and thrown off the side, and then it was over. Like, that was a complete disaster. So can't let that happen to you if you're the medic. You've got to make sure that you don't get overzealous with the milking. But the Uber comes in. There's a heavy here. It's Sizer. He switches out just in the nick of time. Showstopper already down now to Arctic Joe on the top left side, and that's now 3 down. Arctic Joe's going to give his life, and we're going to get a tie game.
Look at that, man. $5 club ties it up 2-2 here. And I'm not sure exactly how. Look at that. 11:24 left on this half, so we still got a bit to go here. We're tied up 2-2. A good response coming out that round, much longer than the previous ones, but they do put that one up on the board. $5 club does, so we'll head into this mid here as well and see who's the aggressor. Both teams playing on their respective sides of the mid for the time being. No frags as of yet. Alpha is quite hurt. Showstopper's gonna go down though early here. Arctic Joe able to find him, and a bomb coming in from Mangachu. Kozen with a good surf though, gets himself out of danger, and that's 3 players down from the boys on the $5 club side, and they're also trapped inside of Shithouse as well, and that could spell a good bit of trouble. Oh, Cherry User got, I think he ate an arrow there, and Paragon was able to finish him off. He only had like 2 health, so things looking nice for 20B right now.
Yeah, they were fighting reverse mid. Ooh, already players on last. Alpha tries to get cheeky and just snatch it and go to halftime. Maybe he really needs to take a bathroom break. And now the Uber is going to come, though. 7th player is only a baby, and Deadbolt will easily dispose of it. So, well, here's the Uber. What are we going to do with it? Well, we got a guy running on the point, and there are people in the tube. Lots of stacking for the point. And no, they really overcommitted.
Oh man, I felt like they didn't have anybody with them at the time. It was just pretty much Kozen and Deadbolt that were just pushing in by themselves, and then the reinforcements came afterwards. But I mean, Deadbolt couldn't do it all by himself. There were so many people around him, and a very big missed opportunity from 20B right there. They could have easily set that into halftime, but were just unable to do so. I mean, Cozen said it nice in chat. He says, "Oh my God," and then fail fish right afterwards in the chat after that push happened. So that kind of explains it for you. He knew it. You know it, but here comes Showstopper going for a bomb on a chair user, actually able to get him, bombs in through that lower main. He gets him, so that should set 20B up with some nice advantage here, as long as Cozen can make it out alive. Gets an arrow into Mangachu as well, going for the frag as Mangachu's hunting around for him as well. Oh no, Cozen's gonna get taken out though by Dingo, so no advantage, says the $5 club, and now they're gonna come out and try and grab this second point.
Yep, good play there from $5 Club. If your med dies randomly, you're pretty much going to lose unless you do something exceptional. So they went ahead and pushed out, and they managed to just wipe out 20B. They were not looking for the instant aggression that came.
Our control point is being captured.
So here comes the $5 Club. They're... Oh no, the cherry user is actually going to go down. Sizer is able to collect up on that. Now it's... Regardless, actually a 2v2 fight out on the midpoint here. Arctic Joe with just 31 health right now, trying to win the 1v1 with Paragon, but he'll get shut out, so they at least hold him off of the midpoint here, and Paragon's already got himself in onto second as they wipe the $5 Club there.
Yeah, and this might be like after a mid-win, this might be a little too much for a little old Paragon to get. Yeah, he's going to pull back now. So there will be a second fight, but it's not going to be a straightaway cap. 20B's got to be a little careful on how they position themselves here. Milo's going to go down. They have brought an alpha sniper, and that may cause the $5 Club to rethink how they do things, but we got a back cap. Squid is the one doing it. He's going to take an arrow, it looks like, and that's going to slow the push down on 2 for sure. Oh, rather, Mason takes it in the brain box, and that's going to be a second cap, and we're almost back to right where we were. Oh, Paragon gets killed in the sticky trap.
Oh man, this is some wacky fights here. There's like a battle going on mid, there's a battle on second right now, and there's still the battle on second going as Cozen has a full Uber right now trying to make it out alive with Deadbolt. Just get those respawns. He's saying he needs to get his teammates up so they have everybody. They can push right back into second. They already have a lot of cap time onto it, so now they should be able to steamroll right into them with the Uber here. They're getting ready. They have everybody spawned up except for Alpha, but he'll be up in just a second here. So they're getting ready to move in through House. They've already got some good shots off on the Dingo. He's going to go down to the shoddy Showstopper, and they haven't even had to use the Uber. They're just getting it for free right now. Now they're going to use it, but they are getting the frags at least. 3 players down from the $5 Club side, and Chair User is stuck inside of trash to make things worse for $5 Club here. Milo trying to do something to salvage this round for the $5 Club, but I don't think it's going to happen. He's stuck inside a lobby. They are getting respawns, though, at least, but still not the best of situations. Cozen, at the very least, is going to have some advantage here, but I think they may maybe try to push this one. I mean, Alpha's poking around, but they do have some advantage here, nice and easy to work with. So
yeah, so we're probably just going to see them wait this out for about 10 to 15 seconds and then go in and maybe take us to halftime. So getting ready. The situation with Dingo out there on 2 reminded me when I first started TF2, there was a lower level invite team that would post their comms on like the Alienware website. And the demo would always put sticky traps up, and the mid would always say, "I'm not going with you to do that."
Well, they bought their Uber in, and they're trying to take care of this combo right here, but once again, 20B just beefing on this last push, and I don't know what's going wrong from them. That's 2 times now that they could have easily sealed the deal on this round. They had big advantage moving into second, but they just kind of flop on it again, and $5 Club holds it off. They're going to grab second right now, and Mason's got some advantage to work with.
Yep, and they had a sniper first, but he's gone now. So it was a good call giving that Uber advantage. But there is an alpha sniper here, and he's going to try to make something visible. and forces Mason to pop immediately. Dingo is the first one to the fight. And Sizer is behind. Cherries are going to go down to Alpha. At long last, he gets the shot when the flank comes and everyone turns around. And that's Showstopper. Now the fight at mid is going to happen. Bombing there, no, says the scouts. And the Uber comes out. And there's body shots from Alpha. Ubers are still here, still players behind. It's like a 4-health squid, and he's gonna go down.
Whew. Kozin kept himself alive. He almost fell at the end of the Uber push. And we also apologize, folks, if you hear any static in the mumble. I think we're having a couple of mumble issues right now. We're going to keep going for the time being. If it gets really bad, then maybe we'll have to change something up. But we do apologize for that if you're hearing the static and all that kind of stuff, the lag and mumble. But anyway, we do have 20B out onto the second point right now, and they're going to have some advantage as well. Will they be on it again? Will they blow this last push? They've had a couple of opportunities now to send it into halftime, but just unable to do anything with it. Squid's up on Sniper, and he grabs Sizer with the body shots. So the Uber for Kozin here is going to be up right now. Despite being a player down, they want to take this in. Alpha's already got so much time on at this point here. He's causing them to flood the point to try and block it, and that allows them to grab some frags up here. But they're staying in at $5 Club. It's actually a 3v4 fight right now, but Kozin gets onto the point, but nobody on it. Somehow taps that off. They all left it, and he grabs the point just at the last second there, and that will give a 3-2 half lead for 20B.
That looked like a run in football. It was like a run play.
Yeah.
There were all these players, they were all fighting, and then all of a sudden a little hole opened up and Kozin just walked right through it onto the uncovered point and won the round.
The control point is being captured.
Hey, you take them where you can get them. You know, it it worked. It was quite interesting, but it worked for him. So now that will be, like I said, 3-2 half, and 20B is definitely in the tough spot right now. They got themselves at the back against the wall, losing the first map, but they're staying in it, playing much better, I would say, on Badlands than they were on Snakewater. So it's good to see that they've kind of collected themselves together a little bit here, and they've decided to join the server with us this evening and play a little bit of TF2. So we're going to get started on the second half here pretty shortly. I know these guys are readying up quite quickly, but just a quick glance at the stats as we have a couple of seconds. I'm looking for anything wacky. I mean, you can see a lot more Ubers that Street Hoops got out of here. 15 Ubers for Kozin, only 9 for Cherry User. I'm not sure if you have those up as well, Marxist. Anything that maybe strikes your attention here as I'm looking at them. I mean, as far as the demo battle goes, it looks like Dingo's actually going to get that one again. 283 DPM for him. Deadbolt with the 248. And I don't know, what else do we have here? Taking a look, I don't know, Marxist, is there anything on there that you see that catches your attention, maybe?
Well, let's look here. No, this looks much more even. Sizer is top fragging though, so that pleases me.
Yeah.
I said he was supposed to do good, and he really didn't do so good in the last game. But here he's picking it up a little bit, so that's nice. So far, pretty even, straightforward game at TF2. 20B a little bit shaky on the last pushes, really overcommitting to the point right now. Because you got the two different schools of thoughts. Do we try to sack onto the point and win, or do you just kill all the people? And so far, they're really overdoing it in the sack onto the point direction.
Well, you know, it's still a tight one regardless. Like I said, 20B looks a lot more polished in this game than they did previously, so you know, at least that's a good look for them. But they got some work to do. If they want to win this matchup, they need to get what is that? Yeah, they need to get this map as well as the next one. And our third and final map, if we do need it, like we said before, will be Viaduct, which is fantastic. I am absolutely thrilled that we have Viaduct as a third map, so I'm kind of hoping 20B can do something here, send us into that. That'll be a very exciting way, certainly, to conclude this game, but we still got to get through Badlands first. They do have that lead, 20B does, 3-2, so still a tight one regardless. I mean, you think 20B is just going to finish this one off here, Marxist, send it into a third, or is $5 Club got a little bit of game left?
Yeah, unless $5 Club does something really wacky that doesn't turn out in their halftime chat about what's went wrong in that half. I think we're going to see another slog here for the second half. They could go either way. The mids are really going to determine things, because that seems to be the flow of this game so far, is that a team will win mid. And so far, if that happens to be the $5 Club, they tend to clutch the round after that. But they've had a really questionable series of mids here in 20B. Even with their last push mistakes, it's hard to get yourself off of your last and do a full reversal to the enemy last.
Yeah, man, you mentioned as well their halftime chat here. They must really be stratting here or something. They're taking a good while to ready up, but I guess they don't want to take any chances here. Get those big halftime strats in, you know. So I guess better safe than sorry in that department at least. Are you a fan of the big halftime stratting,
No.
Marxist? No.
No, I just want to ready up immediately again.
Yeah.
Don't let me decompress. If I'm mad, just let me stay mad.
Well, they finally decided to end the chat and get into the game here. So 3-2 it is for Street Hoops. Map 2 and our best of 3 winner moves on in the tournament of this best of 3. Loser is, well, they're already at home, but they're going to be sitting on the couch for the rest of this tournament. So we'll see who is able to finish it off, as Showstopper having a battle with Mangachu over in the choke. Dingo getting 2 of those loose cannon shots off. He got Alpha and Sizer. So already 20B in a rough spot here. And Kozen's going to get taken out by Mangachu as he picks up a 2K, getting Paragon as well. Deadbolt finished him off, but he is the sole player left alive for 20B here, as they will lose this mid, and Mason kept himself alive.
Yeah, so very convincing mid. What needed to happen. We'll see what the $5 Club decides to do. They're kind of in the danger zone here. I don't like these Graybridge approaches, because wacky stuff can happen to you. And Alpha tried to go for the ultimate in wackiness and dive on him from above the railing and headshot him. It did not work. Had it happened, I probably would have lost my mind. And but no, instead we're just going to see a straight up Uber push here. A level 2 sentry gun being actively repaired. It's now dead, and we have lost a lot of players on the back end though, and now it's basically up to Squid. He is doing a rather good job right now trying to put folks in the sad zone. Now it's just Milo and Chair User who has to try to escape. It looks like he'll be able to do that. They do get reasonably good spawn times out here, so they're probably going to be able to block 2, but a mistake from them.
And that is definitely a mistake, but Kozen is going to have an Uber in just a second here. He's up on it right now. Cherry User building quite quickly, though. He's already got himself up at about 65%, but I'm sure 20B is not going to wait too much longer on this one, as they've already got themselves out. They pop it off. Kozen nearly dropping it, just surviving with about 20 health left, and he's already out of the fight. He's got to go and get himself back inside a lobby. Deadbolt's going to fall to his death as well, but he did get the pipe frag, at least, into Arctic Joe there. Nice pipes as well. So 20B's trying to continue to contest this second point here. They're up on it, and $5 Club not necessarily in the best position for this one, so they've had to back up into mid here. But Mason's got an Uber. He's a little hurt right now, a little dinged up, but he's got an Uber to move in with. So Milo already trying to create a little bit of room for them here. Mangachu was able to collect up on Alpha, so they have a player advantage as well, but they're forced to pop it off on pretty much nothing. And Deadbolt quite hurt, and Milo's going to try and find him, but that will be the kite coming out from 20B. They still have 2 players down, though, and that may be the trouble for them. They're already trying to get into last here. Mangachu was on it, got a little bit of cap time, but the respawns are coming through from the 20B squad right now. $5 Club trying to do something about it, but the Uber's going to get popped off by Kozin on last. And oh, look at the Scouts just going to run right onto it. Arctic Joe making the play and capping the point. Nobody watched it. They just popped the Uber off and started chasing, and there you have it. That's going to be a 3-3 game.
Yeah, I was going to criticize Mason for his decision to turn around and peek back at what was going on at last, but everybody got really excited seeing him just getting juggled in there, and it turned out that there was a scout on the point.
Oh, rough times for 20B right there. And his $5 Club ties it up. We're all even here, 3-3, so into the next mid. Showstopper going down early. Once again, Alpha trying to make the play on to Mason. Not going to happen. They say not today. 3 players down from the 20B side. They've gotten themselves out of this one already. And Alpha's still spitting some game out there in chat. Kozin very hurt. Needs to get out of the fight right now and keep himself alive. Let Sizer die. Just run. But he has Dingo chasing after him at least, but unable to find him. So he's just going to sit on Great Bridge. They do win the mid, and Kozin luckily kept himself alive.
Yeah, so that's going to save them from a world of hurt, but they are going to be at last. Nobody really goes for the off-classer. Milo moves up, which is a play that I like, but they are going to try to come out with Uber and block this. So, and that's probably going to push them out because they don't have Milo. And Milo is one of their big movers and shakers on offense. So good recovery. Oh, wow, really good recovery now with Mangachu going down. It's a 2-man advantage until Alpha dies randomly in the flank.
And then both teams pop off that Uber out onto the midpoint, and Dingo got Paragon. So another one down for 20B, and the sticks were just all over the place there. Dingo's going to get Kozin as well, and he's going to grab Showstopper, getting a 3K so far for him as he just demolished, frankly, the players at 20B, and Deadbolt's just about to go down here as well, so they may be able to snag up a 4-3 lead here, potentially, the $5 Club. They're going to have some advantage, at least, about 50% or so, just a hair less, about 45. Alpha's up on Sniper, desperately trying to make the play, but still things looking quite nice for the $5 Club.
Yeah, I liked Alpha was standing back there, and Squid and Arctic Joe were both just chilling on the point, mashing A and D as hard as their little scout hands would let them, so that he wouldn't headshot them. And it pans out. So we've got huge Uber advantage. Kozin isn't even alive yet to charge, and they may get in here before that sentry gun gets to level 3, which would be great. That's dead. Yeah, there we go. So
man.
Uber.
Alpha's up on Pyro, gonna try and deny as much of this as they can. They need a scout to take care of him, which they do. They've already gotten 2 frags. Alpha, Showstopper, both down. Milo is down as well, though. 20B trying to kite it over to that right side, but they get wiped off of the map, and that will be another round over to the $5 Club here as they now take a lead at 4-3.
Yeah, 20B's got to be careful about these mids because, as I said, if $5 Club wins these Badlands mids, they will hold you at last and win the round. That has been what they've done 4 times now.
And man, 20B was up 3-2, and the tables have turned drastically for them, as it is now a 4-3 game in favor of the $5 Club. And Mangachu getting pressured hard inside of the choke. He just needs 1 rocket. They were both so hurt, and he got them. Paragon and Alpha both down here. That's 3 players out of the mix for 20B. And once again, $5 Club winning that mid. At least Kozin and a few players were able to get out alive here, so they'll have an Uber to play ball with, but still another mid going to the side of the $5 Club.
Yeah, and this is going to be a straight second cap. This isn't an overreach here. Well, Dingo is pretty far up, yeah, so he gets some help there from Mangachu. He gives him that needed Demo Man shield. And now we got to see what they're going to try to do here with the Uber versus Uber situation. I don't think they're going to just sit on it because you want to seal this deal. Go have a nice celebratory drink. Wow, Mangachu puts a lot of damage onto Kozin, and then that will be it. We got Alpha going for the play of his life, the season on the line.
Indeed, the season is on the line. 1 more round, and it will be over. 1 more round against them, and it will be over. $5 Club managed to claw their way back into this game. Mangachu's going to come up on Spy. Predictable or no?
I would say at this point in the match, yes, and especially because last time he went Sniper didn't go so great, but at least it was entertaining. So here we go. He is uncloaking. They heard it. So the 007 man is not going to have a very good time here.
Yeah, shut down quite easily for them. So attempt one at the off class, not going to happen. Arctic Joe wants to make something happen for his team as well, but 20B says no to that as well. But Dingo able to grab Paragon with that. Loose cannon got a pretty good shot off onto Kozin, and they were actually forced to use the Uber, though. Chair User was. So 2 players down for 20B. Kozin retaining that Uber charge, though, and Mangachu is going to come up on Spy once again. The first time, maybe a bit predictable. 2 times in a row, maybe not so much, so we'll see how that works out for him.
I won a golden cap game by having a player go Spy 3 times in a row. So it's a valuable strat. I'm okay with it. Now, one thing I really want to point out, Mangachu's going to die again because they totally heard that. One thing I want to point out is that I don't think that 20B is aware that Mason popped there. I could be wrong, but they didn't really show the Uber. Mason popped when everybody was turned around the corner. They are definitely gonna know now. Yeah, so he's dead now. But I don't think they knew.
It didn't seem like it, because they were a bit slow to move, and now they have finally made that move. Dingo going in for the bomb. The miracle play with the back tap coming in from Mangachu. It sends 20B home for the tournament, and I didn't even see that one coming, but that is the $5 Club beating Street Hoops Esports in 2-map fashion in the lower bracket playoffs here, and they take it 2 games to 0. Marxist, man, some crazy stuff.
And that is the story of how the $5 Club ended up working their way into 4th place in Invite, and now will be moving into 3rd at the very least. So they will go on to play the loser of Ascent, Froyotech. They did take a round off of Ascent, I believe, and had a decent enough showing for themselves there. They had a really good showing tonight. I could chalk it up some to 20B being on tilt a little bit, but it was just good fundamental TF2 from the $5 Club a lot of the time, which is really weird for a team that has Mangachu on it and some of the other personalities that they do.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, Mangachu getting like at least 3rd place in Invite. I'm sure there's going to be some people talking about that very soon on the forum. So, look at that. That is going to be a win for the $5 Club. As you said, they're going to go and face the loser, of the of the Ascent and Froyotech game. So taking a look at the stats here, you can see him up on the screen. Squid, we said it's a good map for him. Just 35 kills, 20 deaths. Once again, going big for his team. He was tied with Sizer there in the kill department. Sizer was able to go 35 and 22 on that one as well. But, Squid really played damn well tonight for the $5 Club, didn't he, Marxist?
That he did. He was a big factor on the Snakewater. Still pretty big for Badlands, just not quite as ridiculously huge, I would say.
Yeah, not quite as big. I mean, of course, on Snakewater, he went, like 50 and something? So,
yes.
So, I mean, still a solid game from him on Badlands, nonetheless. And just, kind of looking at some of these other stats here, nothing, too striking for them here, but at least that I noticed. But I mean, still, it's just that's a big win for the $5 Club. That's got to be a big confidence booster moving forward here. They still have some very good teams to face up against. Whoever loses that game, it's going to give them a very tough match ahead, but they are playing quite solid right now. $5 Club is taking out Street Hoops 2-map fashion off a back cap from Mangachu on Badlands. So Marxist, I don't know if there's anything else you want to throw out there before we sign off for the evening.
Nope, I feel happy. So we got 2 pretty good games of TF2. One was long. Shame we didn't get to Viaduct. And I know the believers out there have to be disappointed, but I'm sure they'll be back again.
Oh, I'm sure they will be. And actually, just something that I noticed here, Cozen actually had 19 Ubers and chair user slash Mason only had 14. Just something that I kind of noticed there, which is quite interesting to still see $5 Club come out on top of that one. But hey, they did it. You take it where you can get it. They got it done. So, we'll be waiting on our next game. As I said, the Ascent and Freya-Tech match. We'll be waiting on the loser of that to face off against these guys. That'll be coming up sometime this week, most likely. I believe it is. They're trying to get that scheduled and figured out. So we'll definitely be bringing that one to you guys, as well as all the rest of the games of these ESEA Invite Season 19 playoffs. Be checking back here at teamfortress.tv to get all of your invite coverage on all things TF2. So for myself, Marxist, Mathsad, who was on production tonight, we say goodnight to you folks, and we'll be back, of course, as I said it, for those upper bracket matches as well. You all have a good night.